Hungarian and Turks. It's like this Scarlet letter that you will read here in high school, the equivalent. I read it all, and so on there. And these two children grow together, a man and a boy and a girl, they kiss each other, then they became when 18, 20 years old. So they kind of fall in love. And then the young man there, he finally works out enough for courage to say to the girl, may I give you a kiss? That's 6 words, right in the eye. May I give you a kiss? In Hungarian, it's 1 word, make chok all up. 1 word in Hungarian, that's an agglutination. And let me show you. Chok is real good. Chok, that's a kiss. Let me see. Chok all is the verb. To kiss, okay? Hak, may I, that's the point. May I kiss? And lak, I to you. I to you. May I give you a kiss? And make is perfective. In other words, not to say, may I kiss you in general, may I give you 1 kiss. You know what I mean? That's to put make there. That's the thing that I just everything in
Grandpa, just to let you know, we've got about 10 minutes left.
Good, okay.
And then some people might want to talk. Okay.
Okay, next.
Okay.
All right, now, Japanese, I'm talking about Japanese, yeah, sure. And writing has 80 syllabic characters, 2,000 to 5,000, 7,000 Chinese characters, 100 plus Latin. And in Japanese, you have 3 levels of speaking. And here, we speak English. We want to be clear. I want to clear understand that. Japanese, you don't have to be too clear. You might get yourself in trouble. Leave yourself open and you can say, that's very, very good. So, you actually, so if you speak to an inferior, who's an inferior? The older brother to a younger brother. The dog. Your wife is an inferior. And a boss who is a son. You say, the flowers are pretty. Hanakirai. To an equal, hanakirai des. That's an equal person. You have to use a des to show this equal, a more polite language. And if you're talking to a big boss and so on, you say hanakirai dekosasmasu. And if you go to Japanese airlines, all the hostesses speak the polite language. They go side all the time in very flourishing language because you are an important customer. And same thing when you go to okay. Different words for the same concept. Depending how this is to speak, of whom to speak, like to do, there's 3 different words to do. When you talk with inferior and equal and superior. 3 different words. Men and women languages. In the old days, the men and women had somewhat different language. Some words, like but, had been forbidden to, and women are not supposed to use the language but. Shikar. That's considered impolite for a woman to do it. And now with television there. To whom or who, by whom. So, if I said, you want to say she played tennis, you have 3, you have 6, I'm sorry, you have 3, to whom, 2. Of whom there are 6, 18 different things, but practically 12 different ways to say she played tennis. Depending on whom you speak and whom you speak. Very complicated. Next one. Okay, so, and here I will skip this one.
Yeah.
I will do that. Let's skip that one. And now close your thoughts.
This one?
The language is still very much alive because that's the language you could need. You come to. Now, worldwide, as 2 million plus worldwide. Estonia, it's a very nice country. I've been there, I've taught there. And they're there, they speak a language very similar to Finnish. They only are 1 or 2 million, and they had to keep their identity versus 3 million Russians. How they did it? By singing in Estonia. They would get together for 3 days every summer, 100,000 of them, and sing in Estonia, directed there, and the Russians would let them do it. So this is how they kept their language. But otherwise, the Russians would have totally killed them there. And that's never there. Now, you see, there's a lot language, basketball, present, Canadian, some, and Latin, all over the world. Language fluency helps facilitate communication, understanding, and friendship. When I was in Japan, in Malay, I was there, nobody spoke Malay. I spoke Malay with the taxi driver, and he said, look, I've been driving this car for 6 years. You're the first Orang Puti, which means white man that spoke Malay to me. And I spoke Malay when I went to the jungle there, nobody spoke in English. I had to speak Malay and I talked to them and so on. We had a great time with the local people and so on. They were very, very good. So we made friends, by the way. Okay. And then, of course, it also promotes world peace. So, I've written 4 books, and one has been translated in Chinese and Spanish. The second one just in English, and the last two which I wrote when I was 90 years of age. And here it is, this one here. Just a second. Entrepreneurship Innovation, but it's sponsored by the US Department of Commerce in English, but I wrote with my Tunisian friend. They wrote in French. I translated in English, I translated my English in French. Here it is in French. Good. French. And here it is in Arabic. I had translated in Arabic there. So let's keep the Arabic. And then I wrote another book in Libya, in English and Arabic there. I don't know Arabic. So,
we're almost out of time, but just in the next 5 minutes, does anybody have questions or comments or thoughts?
so anybody have questions? Yes.
Do you ever have a problem where you're speaking one of the languages you know and suddenly another language comes zooming in?
Yes. Unfortunately, there are Spanish and Portuguese are very similar. And I drop from the top Portuguese, I drop into Spanish and so on.
Yeah.
And the other one is German and Dutch, because they're very similar. But the other language is similar. And remember, the trick is always to think in their language.
Think in that language.
This language. I think in Japanese when I speak Japanese, now I'm out of practice. And Malay, I used to think in Malay. That's the way you do it. But the other one, you mix up.
I have a follow-on question.
Yeah.
When you're staying in another country and you're speaking a new language, do you start dreaming? Your dreams when you sleep, are they in the other language also?
Sometimes.
Or do you dream back in the
No,
language?
sometimes I had dreams in Japanese when
Yeah.
I was studying Japanese. And you know, when you go, I used to go to Germany and teach in German. For 2 or 3 weeks before, I did nothing but read German books and you know, so I could get immerse myself in German. Good. Not quite. Where are you from?
I'm from North Carolina.
Where?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
She
We
lived
live
in
in
Saudi.
Riyadh, Saudi
You
Arabia.
speak in a foreign language?
I can't speak Arabic.
What?
Arabic.
She's from Riyadh. She was in Riyadh,
Oh,
Saudi
you're from
Arabia.
Riyadh, yeah.
Right, you said
From
that.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
All right.
And we
Yeah.
have Zoom
Did he
back
say,
there.
did you speak some Arabic? Did he?
No, he said that was the one you missed.
No, he just said a word.
He said something.
What?
Do you speak any Arabic? Do you speak any Arabic? No.
No, in Arabic, I had the books translated, but I don't know any word.
Oh, okay.
This one.
Okay. But any more questions? Yeah?
I'm curious if your youthfulness is connected to the number of languages you speak.
Yeah. What's the question?
Do you think learning languages keeps you young?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you think, well, when you were there 20 years ago, you were younger then, you know? Yeah, but some languages I don't know enough for it to think of that. But the one that I know both, but even Japanese and Malay, I could think that. Because when I'm in the country, you know, when you're out, it's more difficult there to think about it.
Yeah. But do you think it keeps you, you're 96,
Yeah.
right? And you're very youthful for a 96-year-old.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious if there's a link between knowing so many languages and
Staying young.
staying young at heart.
Well, yeah, I think so. That helps, you know. And the other thing is teaching to RPI until last year. I was teaching young people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was very good, you know, it keeps you young. To have speak with an average age of 25 years, 20 years, my RPI students. Some were older, but the majority were older. Yeah. Good.
May I ask you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So,
I mean, first, it's amazing. It was amazing to watch you. This is one thing. I know you enjoy all the languages, but which language do you enjoy speaking the most except your mother tongue?
I don't enjoy particularly speaking is my mother tongue, I do.
Accept it, accept your mother tongue.
Yes, except, but I don't, because I've been here a long time. Italian, it's a good language, but it's a little too long and complicated. Probably I would say that the most beautiful language is French.
Okay.
French is a magnificent literary language and difficult, but it's beautiful. It's really French literature, okay? That's one. On the other hand, for overall speaking business, English is the best. Because the easiest language in English, you're clear, and things like that.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody? More languages? Yes, yes.
Well, I just wanted to,
Yeah. Excuse me.
yes, I wanted just to say that I really appreciate when you say that learning, knowing more languages, you build friendship
Yeah.
and peace with people.
Right, right.
That's very true.
Where are you from?
I'm from Uganda.
Uganda. Oh, I see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
I've
you.
not been there. I've been in South Africa,
Yeah.
and I have been in Tunisia, Morocco, and Egypt. That's I took in Tunisia one time in South Africa. That was good. And you know, I was just there when Mandela moved in the White House. And my course, I had 130 students in Europe, Africa, and there were maybe 110 white men, and only 10 women. They never had apartheid for women, but they were women. They weren't welcome in it. And then there was about 15 people of African origin, including Congo and then local Africa there and there. So it was the first time there. And we went to the White House, we saw Mandela, we didn't see Mandela, but he was there. It was a very, very exciting time to be there. Good,
Thank you.
good. Anybody else? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
you want to say- I wish you success in your courses, of course, because you will have learning and you will be teaching English, obviously. That's what you're here for, and that's a very useful that we teach English. But it's good that the people learn English is not becoming lingua franca all over the world. You know, in Finland now, children, when they're 6, 7 years old, they all start learning English there. And the same thing in Sweden and so on. Everybody. But they're always very eager to continue and speak their own language. So it's good to have the English as another language, but you should never forget your language because that's your background. That's your life that is there.
Okay, go ahead, Ashley.
So lunch in the IC, and just remember, ProLingua is having the book sale today. If you guys want to check that out, it will be set up outside of the lunch. And then, Megan, 1:30?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, okay. So
And are you here as?
SG
Okay,
405.
1 o'clock, okay.
Okay, 1 o'clock, SG 405 will be the next presentation. Okay, enjoy lunch. Thank you.